Imagine the Egyptian desert with endless dunes and the wind blowing through ancient ruins. Hidden beneath the sand may be one of history's greatest mysteries, Cleopatra's tomb. For more than 2,000 years, archaeologists have searched for it, believing that it holds not only her remains, but also the final secrets of her story. She was more than a queen. She was a leader, a diplomat, and a strategist. She ruled during a time when Egypt was at the center of a power struggle between Rome and its own survival. Despite the way history often paints her, she was not merely a woman of beauty, but a ruler of immense intelligence. She spoke multiple languages, negotiated with the greatest minds of her time, and maintained her throne through skillful political maneuvering. Her rule marked the final breath of ancient Egypt before it fell under Roman control. For centuries, her final resting place has remained one of archaeology's greatest mysteries. Ancient texts suggest that she was buried with her lover, Mark Antony, in a grand mausoleum befitting her status as the last pharaoh. However, the location of this tomb was lost over time, buried under layers of history, natural disasters, and urban development. Dr. Kathleen Martinez, a dedicated archaeologist from the Dominican Republic, has spent years searching for her tomb. Her research led her to Taposiris Magna, an ancient temple near Alexandria that dates back to her time. Unlike other sites previously excavated, Taposiris Magna contained clues that suggested a connection to Cleopatra's reign. Among the findings were statues, artifacts, and coins bearing her image, further fueling the belief that this could be the site of her burial. Beneath this temple, archaeologists discovered a secret underground tunnel stretching nearly 0.8 miles, 1.29 kilometers long, carved into solid rock. This tunnel, partially submerged in water, has been described as an engineering marvel of the ancient world. Its existence raises the possibility that it may lead to a hidden chamber where Cleopatra and Mark Antony were laid to rest. However, centuries of earthquakes, floods, and the passage of time have made excavation incredibly challenging. Some believe that parts of the tunnel may have collapsed, trapping its secrets forever. Despite the challenges, discoveries continue to emerge from the site. Excavations have revealed dozens of coins with Cleopatra's likeness, statues of Osiris, and burial shafts containing mummies from her era. The presence of those artifacts suggests that this temple may have been a place of great importance to her and her followers. The deeper archaeologists dig, the closer they come to uncovering the truth about her final days. Her burial is not just a historical curiosity, it holds the potential to change everything known about her life and death. She was a ruler at a time when Rome was expanding its influence, and her alliances with Julius Caesar and later Mark Antony shaped the course of history. After her defeat, Rome sought to erase her legacy, portraying her as a mere seductress rather than the skilled ruler she was. If her tomb is found, it may contain inscriptions, relics, or even writings that tell her side of the story free from Roman bias. Beyond historical significance, the search for Cleopatra's tomb carries the weight of mystery and danger. Ancient Egyptian tombs were often built with protective measures against intruders. While Hollywood has exaggerated ideas of rolling boulders and deadly traps, real dangers exist. Ancient fungi and bacteria, sealed away for thousands of years in some tombs, pose a potential threat to modern explorers. There is also the cultural and ethical challenge of preserving what is found while respecting the ancient traditions of burial and the beliefs surrounding the afterlife. Remember to join our community by subscribing to this channel. The curse of the pharaohs, though often dismissed as myth, still lingers in public imagination. Stories of sudden illnesses and misfortunes befalling those who disturb ancient tombs have persisted for generations. The most famous case is the supposed curse of King Tutankhamun, where members of the excavation team died under mysterious circumstances. While science attributes these deaths to infections and natural causes, the aura of mystery remains. Her impact extends far beyond her reign. Her influence on art, literature, and film has kept her memory alive for centuries. Yet, much of what is known about her comes from Roman sources, written by those who sought to discredit her. Finding her tomb would provide an opportunity to see her through the lens of Egyptian history, potentially uncovering artifacts that give insight into her leadership, religious beliefs, and personal life. The mystery surrounding Cleopatra's final resting place continues to captivate researchers and enthusiasts alike. With modern technology such as ground-penetrating radar, 3D mapping, and satellite imaging, archaeologists are closer than ever to solving this ancient puzzle. Cleopatra's name has echoed through history, immortalized in books, art, and cinema. She has been painted as a cunning strategist, a seductress, a scholar, and a fearless ruler. Few historical figures have been as mythologized as Egypt's last queen. Her legacy stretches far beyond her reign, shaping perceptions of power, ambition, and female leadership. Ancient accounts often contradict one another, making it difficult to separate fact from fiction. The Romans, particularly those loyal to Emperor Octavian, later known as Augustus, portrayed her as a dangerous woman who used manipulation to maintain her throne. Roman historians depicted her as a ruler who controlled men through seduction rather than intelligence. It reduced her to a mere romantic figure rather than recognizing her as a leader who skillfully navigated one of history's most volatile periods. Beyond Roman propaganda, she was much more than a woman of influence. She was a calculated ruler who understood the delicate balance of diplomacy and warfare. She spoke multiple languages, including Egyptian, Greek, and Aramaic, which allowed her to communicate directly with her people and foreign allies without interpreters. Few monarchs of her time had such a command of international relations. Her ability to engage directly with other rulers gave her a strategic advantage, reinforcing her status as a political force rather than a passive figurehead. Art and literature, not historical documentation, have shaped much of her image despite her intelligence and leadership. Renaissance painters depicted her as a tragic beauty, her face sorrowful yet regal. William Shakespeare's play Antony and Cleopatra cemented her as an icon of doomed romance, further feeding the idea that her love affairs defined her rule. This theatrical interpretation has persisted, influencing how filmmakers and authors portray her to this day. Hollywood has played a major role in shaping Cleopatra's modern image. The 1963 film Cleopatra, starring Elizabeth Taylor, showcased her as a glamorous queen draped in gold, navigating palace intrigue with charm and seduction. While visually striking, such portrayals leaned heavily on the myth rather than historical accuracy. The idea of Cleopatra as an irresistible enchantress overshadowed her genuine accomplishments as a military commander and economist. One of the most overlooked aspects of Cleopatra's reign was her economic and administrative expertise. She inherited a nation in financial crisis and took decisive steps to restore stability. Under her rule, Egypt's economy flourished. She introduced policies to improve trade, strengthen agriculture, and reform taxation. Her ability to stabilize Egypt's wealth made her an even greater threat to Rome, as she controlled vast resources that could support an independent empire. She also saw the power of public perception and used symbolism to reinforce her divine status. She often aligned herself with the goddess Isis, presenting herself as the living embodiment of the deity. By doing so, she strengthened her connection with the Egyptian people, who saw her as more than just a foreign-born ruler. She was a divine protector of their land. This association with divinity helped her maintain authority and inspire loyalty among her subjects. Her influence was not limited to Egypt. Even after her death, her name and story continue to fascinate historians and rulers alike. Napoleon Bonaparte was captivated by her legend, and European monarchs saw her as a symbol of powerful and independent leadership. Her political tactics and strategic alliances became a subject of study for those who sought to understand the complexities of governance and diplomacy. One of the biggest myths surrounding Cleopatra is her appearance. Many artistic representations, especially in Western culture, depict her as an extraordinary beauty. However, the few surviving images from ancient Egyptian coins suggest she had sharp features, a prominent nose, and a strong jawline. Her allure likely came from her intellect, charisma, and ability to adapt to political situations rather than her physical appearance. The idea of her as an irresistible temptress is largely a product of Roman exaggeration and later literary works rather than historical records. Another persistent myth is the manner of her death. Most historical accounts claim that after her defeat against Rome, she took her own life by allowing an asp, a venomous Egyptian cobra, to bite her. This version of events has been widely accepted due to its dramatic nature, but scientific analysis suggests that a snake bite is an unlikely cause of death. Cobra venom does not kill instantly. It causes paralysis and respiratory failure, a slow process that contradicts the narrative of Cleopatra dying quickly and peacefully. Some historians believe she may have ingested a fast-acting poison instead, possibly derived from a combination of plant-based toxins known to Egyptian chemists at the time. Her knowledge of science and medicine is another area where history and myth often intertwine. Ancient sources suggest she had a deep interest in alchemy, chemistry, and pharmacology. Some Arabic texts from the Middle Ages credit her with writing treatises on medicinal practices, though no original works have been found. If her tomb is ever discovered, it may contain records or artifacts that reveal more about her understanding of these subjects. Modern scholars continue to debate whether she truly had scientific expertise, or if these claims were later embellishments to enhance her legend. Myths and speculation have also clouded the search for her tomb. Some believe her burial site remains hidden beneath the ruins of Alexandria, submerged under the Mediterranean due to earthquakes and rising sea levels. Oh, there's, like archaeologist Dr. Kathleen Martinez, proposed that her tomb lies beneath the Temple of Taposiris Magna, where excavations have uncovered artifacts linked to her reign. The discovery of an underground tunnel at the site, stretching nearly a mile beneath the temple, has fueled speculation that it may lead to a hidden burial chamber. However, until further evidence is uncovered, the exact location of her final resting place remains unknown. In popular culture, she is often associated with curses and supernatural legends. Similar to the myths surrounding Tutankhamun's tomb, ancient Egyptian tombs were often inscribed with curses, warning of divine punishment for those who disturb the dead, but these were primarily symbolic rather than literal. The idea that her tomb, if found, would unleash a deadly curse is more rooted in modern imagination than in historical reality. Are you enjoying the story? Support our channel by clicking the subscribe button. Science has played a crucial role in challenging myths and uncovering the truth about her era. Advancements in ground-penetrating radar, satellite imaging, and DNA analysis have transformed archaeological research, allowing experts to explore hidden structures without excavation. These technologies have helped map out previously unknown tunnels and chambers beneath Egyptian ruins, increasing the likelihood of discovering lost historical sites. New forensic methods may also help rewrite Cleopatra's story. If her remains are ever found, modern DNA testing could confirm her ancestry, resolving long-standing debates about her ethnic background. While she ruled Egypt, she was of Macedonian Greek descent, tracing her lineage back to Ptolemy I, one of Alexander the Great's generals. However, questions remain about whether she had Egyptian heritage through her mother's side. Genetic analysis of skeletal remains could provide crucial answers to these historical uncertainties. History is not just a collection of dates and names. It is a living record of humanity's greatest triumphs and most profound mysteries. The sands of Egypt, home to some of the most extraordinary civilizations in history, hold stories that have shaped the world. Yet, these ancient wonders face a constant struggle for survival. The preservation of Egypt's cultural heritage is a fight against time, nature, and human intervention. Without dedicated efforts, the remains of this once mighty civilization could fade away, taking invaluable knowledge with them. The vast deserts and ancient ruins of Egypt contain countless archaeological sites, many of which remain undiscovered. However, even the unearthed sites encounter significant challenges. Time is an unrelenting force, slowly wearing down these remnants of the past. The dry climate of Egypt, while often credited with preserving mummies and monuments, is not enough to stop erosion. Shifting sands can bury entire temples, and sudden temperature changes weaken stone structures. Centuries-old paintings, once vibrant, are now fragile and in danger of disappearing completely. Beyond natural threats, human activity has played an even greater role in the destruction of Egypt's ancient heritage. Looting, both ancient and modern, has stripped many tombs of priceless artifacts. During the age of the pharaohs, grave robbers sought gold and jewels, plundering tombs meant to remain sealed for eternity. Today, illegal excavations continue, driven by the high demand for Egyptian relics on the black market. Stolen artifacts are smuggled out of the country, often never to be seen again in their original context. Urban expansion is another major threat to preservation efforts. Modern cities are growing rapidly, often encroaching on archaeological sites. Some cities have built entire neighborhoods over ancient ruins, making excavation impossible without disrupting daily life. Industrial pollution and construction vibrations further contribute to the gradual decay of delicate structures, threatening the integrity of temples, tombs, and statues that have stood for thousands of years. Tourism, while essential to Egypt's economy, also presents a complex challenge. Millions of visitors flock to see the pyramids, the temples of Luxor, and the Valley of the Kings. Their presence, though bringing awareness and funding, accelerates wear and tear. Foot traffic, humidity from breath, and even the light from cameras can damage fragile relics. Some tombs, including Tutankhamun's, have suffered severe degradation due to the sheer number of visitors. Preservationists have had to limit access to certain sites to prevent further deterioration. One of the most debated issues in cultural preservation is artifact repatriation, the return of ancient objects to their country of origin. Many of Egypt's greatest treasures, such as the Rosetta Stone and Cleopatra's Needle, are displayed in museums outside of Egypt. Some argue that these artifacts should be returned to their homeland, while others believe they are safer in controlled environments, protected from political instability and environmental damage. This debate continues to fuel discussions between historians, governments, and cultural institutions worldwide. Beyond preserving physical artifacts, the preservation of ancient knowledge is equally important. Egyptian civilization was one of the first to record its history in writing. Hieroglyphs, once a lost language, were deciphered through the discovery of the Rosetta Stone. Yet, there are still many untranslated texts, and much of what is known about ancient Egyptian science, medicine, and philosophy remains incomplete. Scholars continue to study these texts, hoping to unlock forgotten wisdom that could reshape our understanding of the past. The story of Cleopatra's lost tomb is just one example of the larger challenge of preserving Egypt's history. If her final resting place is ever uncovered, conservationists will face the monumental task of protecting whatever is found. Delicate scrolls, organic remains, or painted walls exposed to air for the first time in over 2 millennia could deteriorate within hours. Scientists will need to act quickly to document, stabilize, and safeguard the site before the elements take their toll. The search for her tomb is more than an archaeological quest. It is a journey into the depths of history, where fact and legend intertwine. The sands of Egypt have hidden her resting place for over 2,000 years, keeping the truth just beyond reach. Every discovery, every uncovered artifact brings humanity one step closer to unraveling the mystery of Egypt's last queen. Yet, the past does not easily surrender its secrets. If you are enjoying this story, consider supporting us by clicking Super Thanks. Your support helps us uncover more incredible stories from history and bring them to life. Her legacy extends far beyond the physical remains of her tomb. She was more than a ruler. She was a strategist, a diplomat, and a force of political brilliance in a world dominated by empires. Her life was shaped by power struggles, shifting alliances, and a relentless determination to secure Egypt's independence. While history has often reduced her to a figure of romance and seduction, the true Cleopatra was a visionary leader who defied expectations. Her influence shaped the course of ancient history, leaving behind a legacy that still captivates the world today. The ongoing excavation at Taposiris Magna offers hope that her final resting place may soon be uncovered. Advanced technology and modern archaeological methods bring new possibilities, allowing researchers to peer beneath the surface of the earth without disturbing fragile relics. However, even with the most sophisticated tools, nature, time, and human activity continue to pose challenges. If Cleopatra's tomb exists, its preservation will require immense care, ensuring that whatever remains within is protected for generations to come. The destruction of cultural heritage, whether through natural decay, looting, or war, threatens the survival of ancient knowledge. Every piece of history that is lost is a chapter of the human story that can never be rewritten. Protecting these relics is not just about preserving physical artifacts. It is about safeguarding the voices of the past, ensuring that they are not forgotten. Egypt's landscape is filled with wonders, and the search for lost history will never truly end. Even as one discovery leads to another, there will always be more questions waiting to be answered. The ancient world still holds countless mysteries beneath its surface, and each excavation is a reminder that history is alive, waiting to be rediscovered. Thanks for watching. Join our community by subscribing to this channel. Until the next video.